Welcome back to Let's Play Fire Emblem The Sacred Stones. Last time we went through the narrow river, rescued a bunch of people, and also encountered Lyon again. This time we head to the Nelorus Peak to pursue Lyon. Group sets off in search of Grada's elusive Imperial Prince Lyon. Innis has ordered friendly troops to aid in the hunt. The troops return with news that Lyon has moved north. Group search for Lyon leads them to Mount Nelorus in the heart of darkling woods. Scorching heat and sulfur stench render the area unfit for human habitation. Endless numbers of Gorgon eggs stud the forbidding landscape. But what is a Gorgon, you may ask? We'll be finding out very shortly. Not a fun enemy to fight, to be honest. Larakel, may I ask your advice? What is it, Erica? There's no need to be so formal. It's about Lyon. My brother was right. Lyon's been possessed by the Demon King. He's no longer the Lyon I once knew, but I can't help feeling there must be some way to bring him back. Please help me, Larakel. I want to save him. Rastan is the spiritual heart of Magvel. They keep the ancient lore. You're the princess. You must know something about the demons of legend. Is there anything that can save Lyon? I'm so sorry, Erica. To the best of my knowledge, there's no way to aid him. That can't be. There must be something, any clue, no matter how slight. Our oldest legends tell us just this. Only one person has ever been able to shake off the Demon King's domination. Ralston's founder, Saint Latona, the sure-hearted, shattered his fetters. If one possesses a strength of will beyond that of normal men, only then can he throw off the shackles of the Demon King. But you saw it for yourself, Erica, with your own two eyes. Your friend Lyon's body has already been claimed by the Demon King. Once it's gone that far, there's nothing that can be done. When the Demon King takes over someone, he devours his spirit, his very soul. Even if his hold on Lyon's body could be released, that body would have no soul. There's no power in Ralston, not even the Sacred Stone, that can perform so great a miracle as to restore a shattered soul. But, Lyon... Erica, I understand how you feel, but the prince is gone. The Lyon you knew no longer exists. It's more important now that you care for yourself. If we pursue the Demon King, we're likely to suffer for it. I want you to return to Rastan Palace and rest yourself. Thank you, Larakel. However, I must stay with the company. I have to believe there's something I can do to help him. Lyon was always so kind. He wanted nothing more than to help people. It's too terrible to picture him imprisoned by the Demon King. Imprisoned with no hope of salvation. This way! The enemy went into the recesses of this valley. Brother, do you smell something? Smell? Yes, an unpleasant odor, like sulfur. It's emanating from this valley. Are those eggs? Gorgon eggs, there are so many. Brother, the eggs, they've started to hatch. No, he's led us into a trap. Watch out, everyone, steer clear of those eggs. So this is actually one chapter where, first of all, we don't have to do a whole lot of prep work because we're in pretty good shape from the last chapter, so we're gonna cut straight to the chase. And this is also another chapter where if you have multiple flyers, this will help you out a lot because these eggs are all over the place. This is a defeat all enemies chapter, thus, yeah, if you have all 4 flyers, then this will go a lot faster for you. This is also one of the rare chapters where you actually have slight story differences. And to be honest, they're actually too substantial to just gloss over, so we're actually going to cover them. Tana will be your best friend this chapter. Also, these cracked tiles here, do not stand on them. We'll probably see what happens, but for now, suffice to say, do not stand on them. Anywhere else is safe to stand. Also, these eggs start at 5 HP and then gradually regain, I think, 5 more HP every turn. So the eggs closer to the front tend to have very little HP, the ones closer to the back tend to have a little bit more. So, this is actually considered a really easy chapter, if you have a good setup. I have a less than ideal setup though, so this will be a little bit interesting, I suppose. A little bit interesting to see how this pans out. Gorgons are kind of like Medusas in mythology, where they can actually immobilize you if you're not careful. So be careful. Only really go after them with high evasion units or units that can one-shot them. That'd be my advice. Luckily though, this chapter really isn't that bad. Even though it may sound like it's really gonna be a problem, it really isn't that bad. It's kind of difficult, but not even too difficult for this game's standards. Which is actually a slight complaint I have. While this isn't really a traditional complaint because it's not really that big of a deal, I do find most Fire Emblem games do have a weird difficulty curve. To me, Fire Emblem games actually have what's called a bell curve. I know it's weird to describe a video game's difficulty as a bell curve, but that's the best way I can think to describe it. That actually did a lot of damage. Shadow Shot is essentially the monster equivalent of bolting magic of sorts. Oh yeah, by the way, you may think you could fly over canyons, you actually can't, so keep that in mind. Wow, unnecessary critical. But again, a bell curve in education is where you have grades. How typically most grades are going to fall in the middle, and then everyone else, and the lower parts, the lower numbers, are going to usually be either the extreme left or the extreme right. So like, most people will get like B's and C's, and then like A's and F's on the opposite side of the spectrum. So what I'm trying to say is, this game sort of feels like it's on a bell curve. As strange as that description sounds, because it starts off with the hardest stuff in the middle, and then it gets actually easier as time goes on. Like, the first couple chapters are easy because they're tutorials, and then the game actually gets pretty tough, and then it actually gets easier. So yeah, that's what I mean by bell curve. It's the hardest stuff is always at the beginning in Fire Emblem. And again, I frankly have no clue why they actually always do this, but it seems to be a pattern. Again, because other games do this. Like, I recall Path of Radiance kind of being that way, where by the end of the game you're such a tank that nothing can either do damage or hit you outright, and then everything else is just kind of like minor challenges, really. Sort of like, after you get past the tutorial, it gets difficult because they take the training wheels off, essentially. And then once you actually get to the point where you're at a really high level, which is usually end game, it's actually easier. Just saying, it's a little bit disproportionate. Not bad, mind you, just disproportionate. Yeah. So again, this chapter can be easy if you have a good strategy going in. If you don't have a good strategy, then it's kinda difficult. Actually really difficult, just saying. Also, see, cracked tiles are bad, so don't stand on cracked tiles, unless you have to. Unless you have to. Also, this one's up on a ledge, so we actually do need flyers for these ones. And this one didn't actually gain any health, so it actually went down pretty easily. The only other ones like on ledges are like these ones, but we can actually reach those ledges, so that's not a problem. The position F I am here. No, I'm not gonna do that. I need to really get a physics staff. I really do. I have a bunch, but I just don't use them because I tend to hoard items, as I've said before, where I just collect a bunch of items and then never use them. So yeah, that's a problem I do develop in games, where I have tons of really helpful items, but I'm afraid to use them because they're so, like, limited time use, essentially. So it's like, I don't want to waste a good item even if it's like something that I'm never actually gonna use. Like Final Fantasy was actually an exception because I did use a Mega Elixir in that final boss. Normally I don't use those because I just keep them because you only get like 5 per game at most. So I just never use them. It feels actually strange to use a healing item in the Final Fantasy actually because I do it so little. Sounds really weird actually, to not use really good items. But other people do that. A lot of people do that, where they just are afraid of wasting a good item, so they just don't use any. And as backwards as it sounds, that's usually a problem in games. Like the Warp Staff is a really good item, but you only get 5 uses, so you have to really pick what to use them on. I'll be using it to show off the final boss strat, because I actually do really like the strategy for the final boss because it's so hilarious. Stone magic. If you return to stone, you actually can't move at all. Thus, your evasion drops essentially to 0. So it's like a guaranteed hit. So it also makes it really easy to get hit by a critical if you can't move. So yeah, be careful. Okay. And again, that's why I said something about high evasion, because stone magic. Okay, do this. Oddly enough, I haven't really had to do much level grinding on the other route since Phantom Ship level, just because that pretty much got us to the point where we are at a decent level. Ouch. Okay, so we are actually going to probably have to take a hit here, just because there's no other way to actually land on this dang space. The way this Gorgon is positioned, it just there's no way to actually attack it other than to stand on a fire space. However, what you can do is rescue. You can rescue people to keep them safe, but that also wastes a turn. So while that would be the smart thing to do, it's not the expedient thing to do. Again, like I said, if you can one-shot a Gorgon with stone, that alleviates the problem of being turned to stone, so I would recommend doing so. So these eggs are all on fire tiles, so that's fun. So I'm gonna have some groups go down here and some go up. Yeah, that's the general recommendation, to split up your group. As potentially gutsy as that sounds, it is actually a good idea to split up. Make the most of your time. Set tile here, and this group is actually really falling behind. Because of the way the Gorgon eggs work, there are actually no traditional reinforcements this chapter, to my knowledge. Again, to my knowledge. There may be reinforcements, but again. Oh wait, what I'm reading right here is that actually there are reinforcements. They only appear on hard though, not on normal difficulty. On normal, you just have to deal with the eggs. But in higher difficulties, you actually have to deal with everything. You have to deal with a bunch of, like, I think floating eyes and gargoyles. Will we actually see this work? No. I'll take it though. I would rather not be turned to stone. Also, the way that one is positioned is really lucky, because then we can actually attack it without fear of burning. Since that gargoyle can do no damage, I think the best option is actually to not defeat the gargoyle straight off, and instead to take out the eggs. Like so. I would recommend using weak weapons, because it's overkill using a killer lance and it just wastes weapon durability. Gonna put FRM here, intentionally, just because of burning. 10, 25, okay, so Nami can safely take out this one. So again, this is a very unique concept, and I feel like other Fire Emblems don't really take this many risks. And I do appreciate it in this game, even if I do find some of the mechanics a little bit frustrating. Also, if you're ever in a bind, you could just use the Siegland or Siegmund, or I think that was the lance that FM had. Yeah. But since you only get 30 uses and they're legendary weapons, I would recommend not doing that. I would recommend only using them against a very specific enemies, which I'll go into much later. And that's what stone looks like, by the way. Yeah. Luckily for us, this is a kind of... actually, this isn't lucky at all. So, hope for the best, prepare for the worst, as the saying goes. Got a crit, that was lucky. And, here's the thing, the main issue with being turned to stone is potentially getting a hit with a critical. So that's kind of a big concern right now. Tana can take out this guy, I think. Wow, 0 hit chance. Cool. The main problem is just defeating the far away eggs, like those ones. Because that's kind of far away. And yeah, you do get experience from destroying the eggs, even though they can't actually attack you, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, I think you get 50 by default every time. Now, I'm not sure how this chapter works in terms of enemy encounters. If you still have to deal with eggs or not. I actually don't remember. But yeah, the big concern for me right now is what's gonna happen to Garrick this turn. Because he could get hit and then potentially hit with a critical. And that would not be good. So we got a couple turns to deal with those eggs. We actually have to plan ahead though, because certain eggs have, let's see, 20 HP, others have 25, so we want to take out the ones with 20 HP first, because they'll hatch sooner. But yeah, see, that raises critical hit chance by a lot, so... you gotta be careful about being turned to stone. In fact, I think the final boss of this area might have stone. Also, another slight side note, isn't it nice that the chapters have actually gotten shorter lately? Yeah, it's not just your imagination, the last couple chapters have actually been legitimately shorter. Even without showing both routes, it is arguably shorter nonetheless. And it's like, again, it feels a little disproportionate that usually the longest chapters are early on. And that's partly just because of the difficulty setup, because, for example... Oh, what am I trying to say? For the harder chapters, I tend to play them very safely. Use safe strats, just to avoid and having to reset and stuff, especially for Let's Play. So it means you have a lot of times where things take forever, and they don't need to take that long. Like, if you wanted, you could actually play these chapters really quickly, but you'll probably not make it out without casualties, so yeah. So let's see, this one has 20, so we want to prioritize this one. Yeah, take out the ones that hatch early, quicker. Also, the eggs do count as enemies, so if you're wondering about that, yeah, you actually do have to destroy every egg. If you take out just the monsters without destroying the eggs, you can't clear the mission. It's a little bit weird, actually, if you ask me, because, like, if you destroy all the regular enemies, you could potentially just ignore the eggs, in theory, but that's not the case. Then again, these are all monsters, and they'll probably terrorize everyone eventually, so it's probably good to take them out now, sooner than later. Speaking of which, wasn't there another Gorgon somewhere? Or was that the boss? Okay, that's the general's special move. It beefs up defense randomly. I don't know the name of it though, but yeah, it just randomly boosts defense. It's really good actually. And yeah, I think this was actually the first game to really have abilities. Because I don't think the previous one did. Wow, we actually took out the boss already. That went a lot faster than I expected. 10-10. So get these two up here quickly now. Garrick is still stoned, but luckily he's not on a damaging tile. Yeah, it usually ends up being the case that the supporting characters tend to level up faster than the lords, because the lords promote at a specific chapter, while the regular units promote whenever you want them to. So like, we already had these people leveled up before Eric and Ephraim got their class of items even, so yeah, just a little observation. I keep wanting to call him Rennick because that's what his field sprite looks like. Oh, that's who his field sprite looks like. He's not a what, he's a who. And actually, we're pretty much done with this chapter. One thing you could do, or one thing I could do, is actually just to drag my feet a little bit so I could spam and get experience. Which I would do if this wasn't a Let's Play. If this wasn't a Let's Play, I would probably drag my feet a little more with this chapter, in all honesty, but because this is a Let's Play, we're only going to use Mend one more time, which actually will get Larakel up to level 10. Come to think of it, do I have a guiding ring on hand, or do I not? Because either way, we're gonna class her up next turn, because yeah, I'll probably do some level grinding off screen. I would like her to be 15 before classing up. 20 is just unreasonable for these characters, the troubadours and clerics, but I find 15 a good compromise. Okay, I'm going to do something weird, but you'll see why. An experience thing. I want Gilliam to get the experience for this, so I gave him the javelin. And with that, level 4. And the last egg. Wow, we did that in one video. That's cool. Wait! Hold, Erica, don't go anywhere alone. Lion's back there, I won't abandon him. Lion! Lion! Erica! Lion? Where are you? I'm here. Lion, hold on, I'll save you. Give me Erica, it's over for me. The Demon King has devoured my soul. I'm mad, and I'm going to die. Lion, what should I do? How can I help you? Tell me, I'll do anything, but you have to tell me. Sacred Stone. Give me the stone. What? My body is being ravaged by the Demon King. If it continues unchecked, nothing can save me. But if I had the power of a Sacred Stone, I could save my soul. But he always said his soul was gone, just saying. Please, Erica, I don't want to die yet. I want to live with you. If I had Sacred Stone, I could heal myself. Please. Could the Sacred Stone really do that? Could it heal you? Yes. Please, Erica. I trust you, Lion. I have a stone right here. Ah, it's true, a sacred stone. Ha 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 ha. An abominable sacred stone here in my grasp. What? Lion? No, you're... How disappointing for you. This body is mine now. Nothing remains of your dear boy's soul. He only pretended to be Lion. He deceived me. Return him. Return Lion now. I'm afraid there's no hope of that. You see, I've devoured him. Bite by bite, slowly, how I savored it. Nothing remains but the suit of flesh I wear. There's nothing to heal. Not even the power of a sacred stone can craft something from nothing. He cannot be saved. That can't be. Ha 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 ha. I love how humans look when they're drowning in despair. Now's the time to be done with this stone. Erica! Oh, caught up, have you? I've changed my mind. I'll leave the girl alive. Take her. There are memories of you in this flesh I wear, and I hunger to see your face bear more suffering and pain. Nice guy. Erica! Wake up, do you know who I am? Brother, Lyon's... Erica, I know, don't speak. Lyon, is he really... Let's go back. Larka will be worried. Erica, you can weep now, as much as you need. Weep for me as well. Larka was right there, though. It appears the enemy fled over this cliff. I see, nowhere we can pursue him now. So he got away, is that it? So cause to be discouraged. Beyond these mountains lie the heart of darkening woods. Before we enter, we must head north to Raston. After all, we still need to take a stone of Raston. As long as even one stone remains, all hope is not lost. Come on, we cannot give in to despair when victory draws near. With that, we have finished chapter 18, but we're actually going to do a second run through because the cutscene is actually entirely different. So just one moment. FM, I must ask that you slow down. If you travel so swiftly, we cannot keep up. I'm riding ahead, I can't waste any more time. I must catch the Demon King as quickly as possible. When you find him, tell me, what then? Larkel, Raston is the spiritual heart of Margveld to keep the ancient lore. You're the princess. You must know something about the demons of legend. I do not need consolation or peace of mind, I need facts. Lying as he is now, can you be saved? I'm sorry, to the best of my knowledge, there's nothing to be done. Your friend Lyon's body has already been claimed by the Demon King. Once it's gone that far, there's nothing that can be done. When the Demon King takes over someone, he devours the spirit, his very soul. And if this hold on Lyon's body could be released, that body would have no soul. There's no power in Raston, not even the Sacred Stone, that can perform so great a miracle as to restore a shattered soul. Is that so? I understand. Let's go, Larkel. Wait a moment. Were you listening to me at all? I'm sorry, but the prince... I heard you. There's no hope of saving Lyon. If I cannot save him, I will bring him peace with my own hands. But can you do it? Even if you get the chance, can you bring yourself to kill him? It would be best if you and your sister left this to the rest of us. No, I'm going to do it. Lyon's my friend. If the Demon King stole him from me, I'll be the one to kill him. If your mind's made up, there's not much I can do, is there? Let's go then. I'm sorry, Larkel. There's no need for you to apologize. Your words alone have won my forgiveness. Hold, Demon King. You again? I have one thing to ask before I slay you. Where is Lyon now? When I kill you, will Lyon return? How little you understand. Lyon is no longer part of your world. He cannot be restored. I've devoured every last delicious scrap of a small soul. You monster! Why does this upset you? What does it matter what happens to that weakling now? He was a sickly cretin whose trivial dreams were nothing but hopeless. Shut up! He was my friend. We will always be friends. I made a promise to him. Stole Lyon's soul and corrupted his dreams. I'll crush the life out of you. Ah, what? My body! Don't resist, soon you'll be unable to move at all. So you had the Stone of an Eye with you after all. If you'll just give me a moment to destroy it. Stop! And that's the end of your Sacred Stone. Now then, Prince Ephraim, are you prepared? Curse you! Do it! Finish me! With my dying breath, I'll cut you to ribbons. What are you waiting for? Are you frightened? Tell me, Prince Ephraim of an Eye, why do you fight on? Do you think you accomplish your sad desire? Can you restore your homeland from the grave, overthrow evil, or protect your sister? You won't kill me. I'll do all those things, fiend. All these things and more. For my friend Lyon, I will avenge his soul. I won't let his gentle image be defiled. I guess it's true. You haven't changed, Ephraim. Huh? What did you say? What's going on? You're the Demon King. You're the ancient evil. You told me you devoured Lyon's soul, then nothing remained. So how do you know about me? It's not... Could it be you? Is that you, Lyon? Uh-huh, that's right. It's me, Lyon, Prince of Grotto. I'm not the Demon King. Sorry, Ephraim. The whole thing about the Demon King eating my soul and me dying? That was all a lie. What? Why? Why would you say such a thing? Listen, Ephraim. I've always loved you. I've always hated you. I've always looked up to you. I wanted to be just like you. And one day I realized, someone like me can never become someone like you. You and Erica are overpowering. You blind me with your radiance. How could I live in your shadows and not seethe with jealousy? Lyon, before I ever touched the Dark Stone, I had a vision of the future of Magvale. I saw myself standing with two roads stretched out before me. One led to the Demon King, devouring both my body and soul. The other showed me the power to fight the Demon King's dominion. And I, well... Lyon! When I acquired the Dark Stone, the Demon King began to eat my soul and corrupt my flesh. I almost vanished beneath the Demon King's mantle. Then I remembered you. My mind blazed into wakefulness. All at once my mind shouted out, I will not be devoured. Just as I was about to lose myself to the Demon King, I was able to drive him back. The Demon King's desires are simple, foul but uncomplicated. He wants nothing but the destruction, conquest, and subjugation of man. His shallow desires are nothing to the dreams of the human heart. And of the two roads I had seen, I chose the latter. But I didn't want to appear before you here in the role of Lyon. Lyon, the piteous victim, the Demon King, the fiendish villain. It was all an act, high drama for you all, to suit this grand occasion. That's right, Ephraim. I'm the Demon King. The Demon King is me. You lie. It can't be. It's not possible. Lyon was my friend. My friend was kind and caring. He was a good person. But you're not that person. Ephraim, you're the Demon King. Lyon is gone and you're a liar. You're trying to trick me. You're trying to confuse me. I'm right, aren't I? Tell me I'm right, Lyon. Sorry, Ephraim. Ephraim, listen to me. 10 days from now, when the moon is swallowed by shadow, in darkening woods I will perform a ceremony. Through the ceremony I will gain immense power. Power to change not only Grotto, but the entire world. Change the world? After that I cannot save myself. I'll become the Demon King of old and try to destroy all of mankind. Ephraim, if you want to stop this, you must come to Darkling Woods. I want you to come. I need you to stop me. You must promise. Lyon. Brother, are you? You look ill. Is that you, Erica? Don't worry, it's nothing. But you're so pale. What happened? Erica. Yes? Lion's my friend. Forever and always. Brother, let's get out of here. Larkel and the others are worried. And this is where the two paths reconvene, and the conversation continues just as normal. So yeah, this is the big split of the two storylines, is that Lyon is either possessed by the Demon King or he's faking it. So yeah, that's considered a huge difference in his character, and I don't know why they did it that way, to be honest. It kind of is confusing why they decided to make him essentially more blatantly evil in Ephraim's storyline. If it's just because Erica is more compassionate and doesn't see that side, or I don't know what. Plus, there's also the fact that she's tricked by him, but Ephraim, he forcibly has to take the stone from Ephraim, so yeah, a little bit sexist. But that aside, next time we begin Chapter 19, Last Hope. Thank you for watching, and I hope you join me next time for more Fire Emblem: The Sacred Stones.